So welcome to part A. If you remember from the last part, I got the metal detector, which now allows me to get bolts from the ground. Always start for the part where I cut out all the backtracking to get a lot of bolts. So here's a recommendation from me if you're ever playing this game. If you want to get everything in a first playthrough, provided you aren't wasting ammo, on ammo, those bolts, go back to all those previous levels and start exploring them with all your newfound abilities, or at least whatever you have at this point. I don't think you have much. And use that metal detector. You'll get a lot of bolts that way. So welcome to Planet Pokitaru. It's a whole lot more colorful than any other planets we've been through. Actually, I think it is the most colorful, besides maybe Novalis. But no, this tropical theme beats it out. And if you don't recognize it, this theme of this planet seems to have reused the music from Velden, that first bit. And it's playing again, I think. But don't you worry about it now. We're now in the scenic Pokitaru sewers. I mean, if there's one way to make a player lash out angrily, have them go from tropical theme to a sewer level right away. And on a platformer, no less. But no, there's just another way to disguise some more Hydro Displacer puzzles. And if you haven't seen it earlier, a Trespasser puzzle. So that's going to be the main theme of this sewers, is Hydro Displacing and Trespassing. And Amoeboids, they're back. I thought they were native to Blackwater City, but no, they're here apparently somehow. And this series does not provide enough lore to explain that, so... Oh, would you look at that, there's water right down there on the thing. It doesn't make it too annoying, but that can easily that can easily bother somebody. Unfortunately, this is very much a Hydro Displacer puzzle. You cannot go through there if you don't put the water back. So, time to go back and do it all again. At least the music's nice. I think a bit of there reminded me of Ape Escape there for a moment. Like, the style that Ape Escape 1 uses. Oh, and I probably should have resurfaced stuff for air, but no, I was being a little brave today when I was recording this. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure I recorded this whole entire game in one sitting. Not very good for one's health, mind you. But I'll say this much. Unlike when I did that Psycho for Thieves in Time video where my PS3 started breaking down after nearly 8 hours of playtime, this game is actually, despite the fact that if you ever heard the horror stories of the coding yarn ball, this game it's surprising it does not break down after a few hours. The only thing that's breaking down though is my patience, because this game does eventually get a little more tougher later on. Oh, and here's a fun thing for future videos. Me getting distracted by all of this magnificent bolts hidden in metal ground, apparently. I don't know how that works. Like, you would think you'd only find this on sand or grass, but no, you can find it on the pure solid metal here. It just pops out for you to get. Look at that. Special, unique yellow platforms that seem to rotate actually a little too little to make out a difference. Yeah, they're there. I've seen better. Yeah, I had to speed this up. I was taking a bit too long. I probably should have done that for another one of the Trespasser puzzles, but I didn't feel like it. Or I think I should be more easier to explain. I did not think to check. Like, these were one of the few things that I caught in the middle of the editing phase. One of my original plans for these parts were to splice in footage from other games to talk about them, because it would be like, how much could you talk about the Trespasser puzzles after like maybe the first 3 or 4 or whatever? Like, there isn't a whole lot to say. You've seen it all, like, since the beginning. But I didn't, because I'm already losing so much. I'm already losing too much space on my computer hard drive just to keep the footage of this game in. And obviously I can't put it on my external hard drive, because that would require me to plug that in just for these videos, and that's not very efficient. So luckily my next Trespasser here is much quicker. That would be a hint that, a very, very obvious hint that, yes, I didn't take too long on the non-sped up ones. But yeah, it's a shame I couldn't get any extra footage in. I'll probably make sure to do that for maybe Ratchet Clank 2 or 3. Especially 3. But no, I think if I ever got to the hacker puzzles in Ratchet Clank 3, I would be busy talking about how much I don't like them. So, I mean, hey, there's one thing that I can be confident in, is how unhappy I can be about those. Would you look at that? We're already at the end.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm searching for a very elusive and secret substance.
Raritanium?
Maybe?
The oceans on this planet are said to be an excellent source of that element.
Well, not anymore. All that toxic dumping has obscured any trace of it. You will find raritanium for me.
No, I will not.
Piece of junk. My latest invention, the Persuader. I intended to use it to control minds, but, well, the only thing it's gotten me so far is a discount from Gadgetron vendors.
Hey, I could use that.
Well, I'll trade it for some raritanium.
I believe planet Hoven is a source of that element.
Our long-range sensors do not detect raritanium on this planet. Our database indicates that the best place to locate this mineral is on planet Hoven.
I don't know why the game felt the need to have the help desk explain what Clank already knew. In fact, funny how the whole time Clank had to have a database just like that to figure out what's missing and where to find it. This game, but I guess the game forgot that Clank's not supposed to be the all-knowing one.
Hey, you two are the first friendly faces I've seen in weeks. You are friendly, aren't you?
To you, yes. To him, no.
Well, friend, have I got a deal for you? Since the Blarg began dumping their toxic sludge into our ocean, the wildlife has,
Become ravenous mutants?
yeah, you could say that. All my customers either left or became lunch. So I'm closing the place down. However, I just so happen to have one, count 'em one, O2 mask left.
How much?
It's not for sale.
But you said...
I said I had a deal, and indeed I do. You boys get rid of those Blarg ships, and it's yours. Just escort me to the other end of this resort, and you can use our jet fighter.
Jet fighter, eh? All right. But you better not try to stiff us.
Oh, we found our O2 mask. I mean, I could have done this whole entire part first, actually, and I would not have to bother with taking a short amount of time in the sewers. But I felt it was probably better just to get that out of the way. But I guess that's just another one of my moments where I can just say, look at me, I did something much better than you in a Let's Play. And then everybody can look back at how inefficient I was. I mean, you don't even get anything, obviously. As you have noticed, you're probably better off not going there, since you couldn't even get the special item for finishing it without Raritanium. I actually have no idea what happens if you go through there first with the Raritanium already collected. I've always done that part at the same time I first visited. Yeah, probably not the most efficient, but whatever. So it means you can finally say goodbye to that O2 bar when you play this game. That's also a very unique way to die. Let's forget about that. Interesting fact about the O2 bar, at least if you're not playing the PS2 version, the aspect ratio is obviously wider if you play this game on PS3. I think even in 4x3 you get like the resolution's a bit, you know, bigger than usual, like as in, I think you got more horizontal space, I guess you could say. Like you could see more of the image in 4x3 PS3 than you could 4x3 PS2. I think this is like 640, maybe it's 720 I believe on PS3. Don't quote me on this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you get more space on PS3, but that doesn't matter now because on PS3, if your screen just happens to be long enough, or wide enough, I guess is more accurate to say, the O2 bar does not disappear from the screen because Idle Minds could not figure out a way to get rid of it apparently. I don't know why, but they just couldn't. But the Idle Minds HD collection is a mixed bag to say the least. I originally got it because I didn't own these games. I couldn't find a way to figure out how to get these on the internet. You through it's all that simple, but I couldn't. I still think they were selling PS2 games on at GameStop around that time though. It just so happens to be that they never had it on these, like the first two games on sale. Like, I got lucky to find Ratchet Deadlocked over there at all. But that's just specific issues that you just face when you're in my area, I guess. And I mean, if you somehow know who I am, beyond being somebody with the name Justin, good for you if you figure out who I am, if I haven't told you already. But it's best that you keep that to yourself then. But those HD collections, they have a whole boatload of issues that... like, there's a whole thread on the Insomniac Games forums where they dedicate a whole... a listing of all the bugs, and I'm pretty sure it's not yet complete. Needless to say, the HD collection, it'll provide you the experience of Ratchet and Clank, but it'll give you like a not so terribly good one. Like, you'll enjoy the game, I guess, but it's gonna leave a lot more to be desired than you would have imagined. And if you ever taken the time to compare the PS2 and PS3 versions, oh man, you're gonna be wondering just what happened. Like, there's only two. Like, the only hint that you get that they couldn't do much was like because Sony wasn't letting them do some changes. something about how you had to make it original to the PS2 experience, despite the fact that many other HD collections around the same time were not so restrictive with these changes. Or the fact that, well, wouldn't you want to iron out those bugs? Like, apparently some bug where they couldn't fix the fade out, apparently it just couldn't be fixed because Sony wouldn't allow it to happen. And I don't think I recall Idle Minds ever doing other HD remasters of the series. Like, I think this was the only one they ever did, and it shows. But don't quote me on that. I'll say this one interesting experience. When I played Ratchet Clank 3 one time, I somehow managed to, on a challenge mode run, to really screw up my save file. Like, I saved in this one spot that I apparently wasn't supposed to, and I ended up nearly corrupting the save file in the process.
We're here. Now where's that fighter?
Right there in that locked garage. One tourist crashes a jet and wham! Lawsuit.
That lock is unlike any I have seen.
Very astute observation, Mr. Shiny. I can't open it either. I don't trust the tourist, and the board of directors don't trust me. So we have a little problem.
We have a little problem. I just want the O2 mask. So if you can't open up the lock, that's your problem. Now cough up the mask.
Well, I can see that you really wanted to fly our jet. So I'll tell you what. Go talk to Bob at his Robo Shack. He knows about these locks.
You'll need to use the special features of a Gadgetron thruster pack to activate this switch. You can find one at Bob's Robo Shack, just around the corner.
Yep. Remember Al's Robo Shack? There's Bob's Robo Shack. Because we can't get enough of those. More money to spend, of course.
Well, what do we got here? Hey, watch it. I recognize that work. Y'all been to see Al, ain't you?
Yeah, he installed the helipack.
I can see that. I taught that idiot brother of mine everything he knows. Look, if you want some real hardware, I can fix this little feller up with a thruster pack. Ooh.
Will it help us get past that weird lock by the fighter garage?
Ah, you know about those gizmos, huh? Well, it sure as heck will. It's got a real special power slam move built right in.
It's a good thing I need this to get to that jet, or you'd be out of luck, pal.
I've got it. I'll have you fixed up faster than a horny toad a hopping. Well, there you are, little buddy. Better than new. That's right. I am the man.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, now we got an upgrade to the hover pack. We can now use jet fuel to propel ourselves. No jet fuel mechanics though. And there's no actual flying with this thing, so it's actually just really superficial. All you get is two little new tricks, and that's it. One of them we're about to show right now. Time for another new gameplay mechanic of the game.
Press the square button to fire the machine guns, and press the circle button to fire homing missiles. To go faster, hold down the X button.
Yes, all we gotta do is just take out those long string of large ships dumping waste into the ocean. How very spiteful. And of course, we got a limited amount of missiles to use, so use them wisely. There could probably be a whole load of things I could say here, but this thing is as basic as it gets. I mean, if you played another flying game, you probably already know what to expect. Just think Star Fox is all range mode, and that's really all you need to know. And even I think I'm overselling it with that kind of description. Oh, and I occasionally get those kind of things. Oh, and don't crash into anything, by the way. You can crash into the enemies all you want and it won't do a dent to your health. But if you crash into any of the architect, you die instantly. So always take that in mind. And of course, I think this is one of those elements where the game forgot to change the red cross health to nanotech. I think I've talked about this before, where the game originally used medicine as a way to act as health. They did not change that for these parts, so somehow you get health, like essentially medicine-like health for your ship. And that's it. Wow.
Well, I guess that should do it. Here you go.
It's about time.
Yep, now we never have to deal with the O2 mechanic again until this game's reimagining. Yep, the rest of the series has no oxygen meter at all. It means now that you don't have to worry about 2 bars when it comes to if you're playing this on PS3 with a wide enough aspect ratio. Because the suck cannon will still require to bring up that bar. But now you don't have to worry about it whenever you go in the water. There's also another thing I didn't explain about the thruster pack, which has it has strafing capabilities, apparently, for some reason. But they're so worthless that I never bothered to use them. And if you're wondering, the game will explain about it later, but it's already been shown since part 1 in one of those previews that I showed. I guess if you ever feel like it, you can use it, but I don't. This game does not require you to play it like all the other ones. The enemies don't get that advanced. But how to say this? It's there, and it works, I guess. I mean, for what I've used, it's not so bad, I guess, but it's not necessary. So you're never going to see me use it in this playthrough. I basically got a little too good at this to use it. And yeah, we're back to my least favorite planet of the game, Orxon. Oh boy. I thought the Clank section was frustrating. I found out the hard way this could get much worse. This is basically where the difficulty really steeps up here. Luckily though, the game provides a way to counteract this in the same exact level. So in the same session, I'll find a way to deal with the whole issue I have here with dying so quickly. Yes, these enemies are way a little annoying to deal with as Ratchet. It was nice when we had something to deal with them. Yep, I'm just showing off the gadgets, the new weapons. As you have known, we need a rare titanium to get a discount.
The Devastator, manufactured exclusively by Gadgetron, provides the kind of muscle you need to take out large sensors.
Come on, I don't need another ad for Devastator. Oh boy. I think the last one's like all the way in a different, like, I don't think that would be the last one for a while. Like, I remember when I first played this, I got an ad for the Devastator basically at the mandatory point when you need it. But look at me, I'm just gonna keep ignoring it until it's necessary. I have no idea how far the game goes to show this all off, because I think in my practice playthrough I just got it early. And I don't remember anything about my first playthrough beyond highlights of it. Oh, I remember this guy. It's the guy from that one, the space station area from the really early in the game. He's back and he stole Belarga, I guess. So yeah, you gotta deal with these ships here that threaten your very existence and require the Devastator, apparently, because they provide you the muscle you need. But look at me, I just do this. They don't even fire at you when you're too close. Actually, I don't know what's going on now. They just stopped. Apparently they've run out of missiles. How embarrassing to be the one enemy that runs out of ammunition in the middle of a session. I didn't even destroy it. Oh no, he's just gone now. Whatever. Yeah, this looks like one of those foreshadowing moments, but No, this is one of those points where you can get yourself a skill point. Look at me, I'm proud of myself again. I don't think I ever elaborated on this with the skill points, but they're from, I think from Spyro 2 or 3. They weren't from Ratchet and Clank at all. So it's just one of those other things they brought back from the Spyro series beyond the knowledge, I guess. Well, I think that some enemies do taunt if they hit you, just like in the Spyro series. And I guess there's also that little group dynamic that Spyro and Sparks have that is also here with Ratchet and Clank. Although only in Japan, I think, do they ever show off that it's meant to be like the whole cooperation thing. Like, this series is meant to just be a series about these two and their bond together, I guess. Although, as you can tell, they're not very good friends at all at the moment, so yes, let's not get too carried away with that. But Spyro the Dragon's very rarely ever elaborated on the whole thing with Sparks. Like, you think mostly it's just Spyro, and yeah, that's what you're getting. I mean, I think the most that Sparks gets out of the Spyro games is beyond maybe one of those games I'd ever played, so let's ignore the Dark Trilogy or whatever it is. I think it's a trilogy anyway. Let's forget about it. I know that one has maybe a little more emphasis on Sparks, but I don't know how much. I have no interest in ever getting into those series, so yeah. But Sparks, the amount of focus he ever got, I believe, was Spyro 3, where he has his own levels. And that was certainly an interesting thing about that game. All its gimmicks. I played through it before. It's certainly, it's something. Anyway, we found ourselves that happening apparently, but no, what's this? A vending machine.
This is a premium nanotech dispenser. You can purchase a can to increase your maximum health.
Let's do it. Premium nanotech.
This dispenser also carries Ultra Nanotech, the very latest in Gadgetron technology. Ultra Nanotech is 3 times more potent than Premium Nanotech.
Oh, baby. Already. Oh, I just need to show off that I got the extra health. As you look at that, it's just one little orb. Apparently that makes the world of a difference, but here we are. Yes, now we finally have the real health upgrade. Like, that was just one little thing. It's a real ripoff. Oh, and I've done the math to check with the price of the bolts with the premium nanotech compared to the ultra nanotech. No, it's not 3 times the price. That'd have been too generous. I think they're probably inflating the price for premium nanotech. Anyway, that's the only way you can upgrade health in this game, is through that. Just go through that one dispenser and getting all the extra stuff from it. And yes, you gotta pay for it, of course. But that's enough of that. Thank you for watching part 8. Now, notyourusualZero, signing off.